They're talking basketball. They're fucking dumb as shit. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pod Don't Lie with Sam and Stav. We're here today with our second officially episode. Coming
pumped,
at
man.
coming at you live after Kawhi turbo cucked the Lakers. We're fucking cucking after cucking. After we discussed our first episode, it was a lot of Sam talking about his heartache for the Knicks getting
hurts.
cut. Dude, now's a good time to be like a little brother because the Clippers and Nets have absolutely just fucked the Lakers and the fucking Knicks.
Yeah, and the Clippers, kind of like the Nets, built the culture the right way,
dude.
man.
They're a better, cooler team. It's true.
Yeah.
Clippers are fucking cool. So, obviously what happened is the NBA is completely, been shifted. Kawhi Leonard, you've heard about it by now. No one is coming to this podcast for news. You're coming to this podcast for us talking about how this affects, whether the players will get head or not.
True.
How it affects you're coming for. But basically, to recap, Kawhi Leonard's at the Clippers. He's absolutely cucked the Lakers. The Lakers have no other.
They reacted pretty well though.
Yeah, I mean, but
overpaying Danny Green.
But by the time, yeah, exactly.
Rajon Rondo, they brought him back. They brought JaVale McGee back.
Dude.
Dented Canile City.
It's brutal. Yeah, it really is, dude. It's
damaged goods.
It's damaged goods, and
Rondo is still in the playoffs. He might still have value.
No, bro.
No,
this is
in the regular season. Maybe, if they make the playoffs, which they will, he might have value.
Maybe, dude. But there's too many guys on that team now that are
that can't shoot.
Well, they actually have some shooting now. I feel
but
Danny Green,
but
and
you have
Quinn Cook, and
but you have LeBron, Rondo, AD, and DeMarcus all on the floor at the same time. It's kind of like a shoot tease.
Will that be the starting lineup? You think?
I don't know.
I don't see.
DeMarcus is probably off the bench. How long is he cool with that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think JaVale probably starts at center. And you have DeMarcus be the fucking second unit type guy, and then who knows what you do with closing lineups? But they're they're tough defensively. It's like okay.
I would not want to be Frank Vogel.
Yeah, no, that's tough. It's so funny too that it's Vogel.
Jason Kidd just walking through the hall, he's like, well, I don't know what's happening. He's gonna be like Rob Pelinka. I don't know. Where's Frank Vogel? Just
Frank's not here. But anyway, I think Jeannie Buss is officially hot James Dolan at this point.
She is.
She really is hot.
Would you hit it, Jeannie Buss?
100%.
I don't know if you're a step up or a step down from Phil Jackson in the physical department.
Yeah. Well, he's much larger, probably bigger penis, but his back is shredded. His cock is probably he's got me by leaps and bounds. both length.
He's 6'7".
He's 6'7".
Action Jackson.
Length, width, whatever you want to say. Knowledge. His penis is wise. It's it's done a lot of
his
meditating.
Dick fucks you, and then it gives you a book by by Lao Tzu or something.
Yeah, Sun Tzu. He's got the what's that fucking the Warriors Code or whatever the fuck. I think I could, because of how happy I am to be there, I would do a better job fucking Jeannie Buss than
in the oral department. It's not even a question.
100%. There's no way he's eating pussy.
You're going hard.
Yes, I'm going hard.
You're aiming to please, and she's a rich woman. She's gonna lay there well.
100%.
Totally.
And I would be happy. Listen, Jeannie, if you're listening.
And she is. She's a big fan.
You've had a tough couple months. Your best friend Irving, who you've known since you were 17, stabbed you in the back. Kawhi Leonard.
But did he? He's back and he's helping.
Yeah, that's a weird relationship.
He fucked her in the moment, but he didn't really. I mean, he's a Laker for life.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is I will eat Jeannie Buss's pussy if it'll make her and Lakers fans everywhere feel better.
She looks good, man.
She looks good.
Very attractive.
Very attractive. What she and very good with the media. A lot of skills. Not running an organization necessarily, but
no, there's just too many people involved. There's too many moving pieces with the Lakers where you're like, there's too many titles going around.
Right. Well, it was so weird, dude. So, okay.
I mean, job titles, not.
Yeah. I mean, so basically what happened is you all know by now, but Kawhi Leonard is at the Clippers, and he got there by forcing the Thunder, essentially, to trade Paul George, who just signed who pledged
his loyalty to Russell Westbrook at July 4th at a party last year. That shocked me. I thought he was out.
I know, for sure. Well, that's the thing. I thought he was out last. Paul George, with the Thunder, is kind of like like when a single mom marries a stepdad who's gonna and he says to the kids, "We're gonna turn it all around. I'm here for good, kids. You can count on me." And then a year later, just moves to L.A. and starts fucking models.
And 3 years later, you're like, "What was his name? I don't know."
Yeah.
But dude, that's the thing is like Westbrook.
Yeah, now they have Danilo Gallinari. There's some Euro trash fucking your mom now. Oh, hello, my friend.
Dude,
oh, very good.
L.A. to OKC. That's like you can't get a good Casio e Pepe in Oklahoma.
Dude.
I've been there.
You know that motherfucker's looking for the doors.
Dude, but Russell Westbrook it's weird because he is such a great player, but he is like the porn star of NBA because like watching you're like, this is incredible, but then once you're actually out there, everyone's like, yeah, this is not how you do it. It's almost like it's too visual as opposed to like quality.
He's a big pair of fake titties.
He is.
They look great on HD TV, but once you got your hands on them, you're like, these are rock hard. I want nothing to do with this.
He is a big pair of fake titties. He is.
Russell Westbrook is an 80s fake titties, the rock hard ones, not even the good ones now.
Damn. Yeah, you motorboat him when you break a nose or something. They're not even like. You're like
I would
ow.
chip my other tooth motorboating Russell Westbrook. But yeah, there's just a lot. So there's obviously a lot of angles here where it's like the Clippers now to me become a lot of people talking that it's like, oh, the league is super balanced. I think the Clippers are clear favorites, but there's also the angle of like, what did the fucking Thunder do now? They
rebuild completely.
Yeah, they rebuild completely.
They just said that they're going to work with Russ to find a trade destination, which it's like the only team that I see taking him, maybe Detroit. But they just signed Rose, so it's like at that point.
Let's talk Thunder a little bit more. Let's go over some more angles, and I think a very important angle when it comes to the Clippers is that Paul George now is reunited with a member of with Doc with Doc Rivers, a member of the Rivers family.
Totally.
And what I don't know if a lot of people know is that Paul George, during that season where the Pacers fell apart, he was dating Doc Rivers' daughter, and he confirmed cheated on her with a stripper who he probably got pregnant. And the rumor is he also fucked Roy Hibbert's fiance, and that's why the team fell apart.
And people are only talking about his defense. I mean, that guy,
he's shooting. Yeah, my man is shooting. Poor Roy Hibbert, by the way, dude.
Dude, he was a defensive stopper.
The first half of that, and then Paul George just fucks
that
fiance.
Team, people forget how good that team was.
They were incredible.
George
they
Hill
pushed
was
them
like,
heat.
He was a shooter. He was a defender. Stevenson figured it out.
Yeah.
Paul George was a two-way killer.
Yeah.
David West was just
great. And
he just destroyed you. He just destroyed you.
Mm-hmm. So smart. And poor Roy Hibbert. I mean, it's like I just think as a plotting big man. What we were talking about, Phil Jackson not fucking well. Roy Hibbert probably doesn't fuck as well as Paul George.
Not.
He's verticality. He just sits there hard, lets you ride his dick. Paul George is out there, man.
No. She's like, eat me out. And he's like, I got to do a Parks and Rec cameo. I don't have time for this.
I got to go over my lines. So anyway, and so now Doc is coaching the man that cucked his daughter.
It's crazy.
And by the way, she is now with Seth Curry.
Yeah.
So interesting. That's got to be.
It's a weird move.
Listen, I'm not trying to. I'm not saying slut shaming isn't even correct because the woman is just dating people. But it's like
if you're an NBA coach and you have a daughter, it's just you got to know.
Send her to boarding school. Like make her grow up in Alaska. Don't take her to games growing up. Do none of that shit, dude. Make her hate basketball. That's brutal. It's like look. Okay, look. I'm just saying. If I was a fucking. If I sold copiers and my daughter just sucked off every office manager that I worked with.
We got two players. She's not saying everyone.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like what you're around, you know?
I know. But she's not a fucking player. It's like her
But Doc doesn't give a shit.
Yeah,
Doc is like the dad on Succession. He just wants to win, man.
That's true.
He's cold-blooded.
Yeah, he doesn't even feel like he particularly cared when they traded Austin.
No. Austin's Kendall.
Yeah.
he's done, man. He doesn't give a shit.
Good player though. He's turned into a good player.
He's good, but is he? He's one of those guys where I'm like, yeah, he gets it done, but
6th, 7th guy on a very good team. Even gives you spot starter minutes, maybe.
Maybe.
I'll tell you this much: the Lakers would be fucking thrilled to have him right now.
Would they though?
Yes,
would you rather have him than
Rondo? Yes,
I
it's not even
guess.
fucking close.
I guess.
Rondo's washed up, bro.
Rondo in the playoffs is a different guy, though, dude. He puts the cape on. He's
I
a
don't know,
different.
man. He's fucking 36 years old. How
He's not
fucking no, I know,
36.
but he's like his
33.
he's broken though, bro.
I don't know.
Everyone's been saying this about Rondo since the Mavs traded from the Celtics the first time. The Mavs got him. He was fucking trash. Maybe that's just because
But he
him and
blends
Carlisle
into the
didn't-
surroundings. So how about 2 years ago? Just 2 years ago when he was on
The Bulls?
Pelicans, and
Oh, the Pelicans,
they
that was a nice
swept.
run.
They swept the Blazers because he's a different dude in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, that I will admit that was playoff Rondo, but it's a year later. I don't know, bro. I really don't know. And that's what I'm worried about when it comes
When
to
LeBron
the
wants to take a
Lakers.
bench, that you let that guy just run the offense and get easy dunks
Yeah,
or
but he
Cousins
did not.
and
I mean, when LeBron was hurt, he didn't play fucking well. He really didn't. That was his time
he
to
didn't have
fucking
weapons
shine.
though. He didn't have weapons. Now he has weapons. He's a point guard. He's a pass first point guard.
Who are we? I guess LeBron's going to be the point guard, right? That's what they just said.
No,
they just
got
said
Quinn Cook, right?
No, they said they're starting LeBron at point guard.
Really?
So Quinn Cook makes a lot. Danny Green and Quinn Cook make a lot more sense than fucking Rondo. I guess unless Rondo is just purely the backup point
Yeah,
guard,
probably.
ball handler, doesn't really play with LeBron that much because he doesn't fucking shoot at all.
How
You
many-
do not want Rondo out there with LeBron.
Yeah.
Anyway, Toronto's another. I mean,
Well, hold on. There's more in the Clippers. I mean, so they got Kawhi. They got Kawhi. They got Paul George.
Yeah.
They got Pat Beverly.
yeah. So to me, okay. So my point, I think the Clippers are clearly the fucking favorite because they were already a pretty well like. Usually
They
what
lost a
happens-
lot though. They lost.
They lost Shea and Gallo.
And
That's it.
And 5 picks plus 2 pick swaps.
Yeah.
So 5 first. That's insane. That's the biggest trade ever.
Yeah, they got more. They got more for Paul George than the Pelicans got for Anthony Davis, which is hilarious.
Crazy.
It is crazy.
Although, but by getting Paul George, you get Kawhi, so you have to think of it that way.
exactly, yeah.
Crazy.
It's insane though. But I do think that they are the favorites just because you look at that starting five that they're going to run out there. Probably Kawhi, Paul George, Patrick Beverly, Landry Shamit's a fucking great shooter. And that, by the way, the Sixers made this trade happen. They traded them both the Miami pick and Landry Shamit for Tobias, which, they traded a lot to get Tobias.
Yeah.
And they paid. We'll see what happens with Philly. And then you have Trez or Zubac out there. If there is one Achilles heel, it is center, and that's good for Anthony Davis.
But Zubac he seems like he could
He's
be
good.
Yeah, he's
young and he's good. He's on a team-friendly deal for 4 years.
Montrezl Harrell is awesome.
Trez, and then that's the thing. Their bench they have the best six man of all time.
Lou
in
Williams.
Lou Will.
Of all time,
I think he's better than Crawford.
Manu Ginobili.
Yeah, but Manu was like a fucking guy who should have been start. They kind of like Manu is because of that whole system where they just kind of like platoon played everyone and no one was really a full-time starter and everyone
I don't
rested.
know, but he's a 6th man. I mean, he's not
guess.
really a 6th man because he's a Hall of Famer, but
But Lou. Okay, in terms of like traditional points off the bench, 6-man, like microwave scorer, 6-man, Lou Will's the best one.
Probably.
Ever. Just
Yeah.
to come off the bench and just.
although Crawford in his prime, dude.
Crawford's close. Crawford's close. I think Crawford won a lot of 6 men because people just liked him. He's like a really cool, good guy.
But he also, dude. I mean, I remember when he was a Knick, he would drop 50.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Remember Dirk's last game? Crawford went for 50, I think.
Yeah.
He was on, and he's the oldest guy. Whatever he did, he's the oldest guy to score as many points as he did.
Yeah.
Fucking the Lakers could use Crawford coming up.
They
on
might
the
get
second
him.
unit.
They might get him. But I mean, so the Clippers have Pat Bev and Lou Will. Dude, I was looking at the video of them together when they got the news.
Oh, dude.
Amazing. But they look like they're like shadows. Like, do you see the movie Us?
Yes.
They're
Yeah,
like
yeah,
shadows.
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
Pat
yeah.
Bev is like it's like Lou Will is like the one
He's
who went
offensive.
to, he had like a good childhood and went to like a private school. And Pat Bev
Is his
like
tether? Yeah.
he got good at defense eating pigeons or whatever they were eating in that movie. You know.
Oh yeah, Pat Beverly is 100% was raised in subterranean tunnels eating fucking pigeons. I mean, the motherfucker, he didn't get drafted, and then he went to fucking Serbia, and then Greece. By the way, he used to play for my favorite.
Really?
My favorite
I
team,
didn't know that.
Olympiacos. Yeah, he was there with the Theodosic, the guy who was on the Clippers
Oh, he
last
was
year, but
nice.
he's back smoking cigarettes in Europe somewhere.
But he was fun for a minute.
Yeah, he was cool. I love the old man like stubble behind the back pass game he was
So
playing.
Pat Bev, if they play the lineup that they probably will play of like Pat Bev, Trez, Kawhi, PG, like and whoever else, there's not an on paper better defense I can think of.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I mean, probably yeah.
At
I
least
mean,
man
when
to
they're
man.
locked in,
Yeah.
playoff wise, yes, 100%. And the other thing about this team is that they're deep at every fucking position. With Lou Will, with Trez, they just have they have a whole. Their forwards are fucking stacked.
Yeah.
They're good. I mean, Trez is not. Again,
They'll
their
make
Achilles
another
heel.
move. They'll make.
And that's the other thing on the buyout market. Why wouldn't you join them?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're a veteran, that's especially there seems to be veterans that just don't want to be a part of the LeBron shit. If you're one of those guys, why wouldn't you sign up for the Clippers? They've become, and I think they have more cap flexibility because they built their team.
I have a friend who said that Shaq hated LeBron.
I feel like a lot of people don't like
Because it was
LeBron.
when he went to the Cavs, it was all that. Instead of text me, it was text my people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which it's Shaq, dude.
Yeah.
Text him.
Right. Yeah, he made him feel. Yeah, Shaq was on the way down. LeBron felt like better than him.
Totally.
Yeah. I could see that. I mean, I think some people don't like playing with LeBron, but
Maybe.
Anyway, yeah, I see the fucking the Clippers as the
guess.
prohibitive favorite, and really the people that got punched in the mouth are Thunder fans. Because it's they're
Totally.
oh, where's Kawhi gonna go? They wake up in the morning. They're like, what the fuck?
I was
Paul
in
George is
a
gone?
Dwayne Reed at 2:30 in the morning. I was like, what?
Yeah, you.
I thought it was a
texted me.
joke.
Yeah. I was fucking asleep. I didn't think it was gonna happen to that. And apparently, fucking Kawhi was fucking Michael Corleone. Everyone wants to say Kawhi. Remember when it was Kawhi's the Spur? He'll be the small market team. He's the heir to Duncan. This motherfucker is just because he's quiet. He's done more. He's been better at fucking up the league than LeBron and fucking Rich Paul. I mean, this is what they wanted to do with Anthony Davis, but they fucking tried to make it a media circus instead of just quietly making it happen. And part of that is the Pelicans' fault. I mean, I think Dell Demps, they were saying he's the one who fucking leaked a lot of this stuff the first time. But anyway, yeah, he just got Paul George just fucking took everyone, and the Thunder now are just what the fuck? I mean,
Paul George lucked out, dude. That's the other thing. It's
Absolutely.
You were hitched to a dude who was a stat machine. It also was leaked out of. I mean, did you hear what the head of Durant's brand content wrote something like he's a stat guy who only cares about his numbers and not
Russ.
about winning? Yeah, Russ. And
Interesting.
it's that's Durant's guy.
Right.
So
I think that's slandering him though a little bit.
Totally. I think he
people
cares.
love Russ though. That's the weird thing. He loved him enough a year ago to resign.
yeah, you love him, but you love him where he's dude, he's a porn star. You fuck him the first night, and he's the porn star who you're whoa, this is the hottest chick that'll fuck me. And then the porn star's I love you, and you're all right, I love you.
Yeah.
So you say I love you
say, "I
too
love you
soon
back."
because he's that emotional. He plays
Right.
recklessly.
Well, also
but
because you think he'll stab you in your sleep if you
Yes.
don't say "I love you."
He's crazy.
Russ is very intense.
he's got that
way.
Iverson in him where you're I gotta love this guy.
Right.
But he's also got that Iverson where you're I don't think this dude's winning a chip.
Yeah, that's true. Damn, it's hard for me. But the thing is, so okay, that's the thing. We all talk about him and people that are bad at basketball and under 6 feet tall and stat geeks are Russ is not overrated, but players love him. People love playing.
Do they?
With, I really think they do, man.
Who loves him?
I mean, when he was going for, everyone wanted him to be MVP that triple-double season. Everyone fucking says what a warrior he is. People want to play with that guy because he does put it all out on the fucking
He's
floor.
a motor guy, but I think you love to love him, but he's not
Basically, my point is the Thunder could get. I mean, the Thunder did do well here, and I think if they're going to go full rebuild, you could get something for Russell Westbrook. When a lot of people are his contract stinks, he's not a good. His
contract
his
stinks.
contract stinks, but it's not.
$47 million, I
Yeah.
think, when he's 34.
That's tough.
That's tough.
Only John Walls and Chris Paul's are worse, you'd say.
Yeah.
But so it's if you're going to trade him, you'd think it'd have to be for similarly horrific contracts.
But who's out there?
Wiggins, maybe.
Wiggins
You
is the
trade him
name I
for
heard.
Wiggins, yeah.
Wiggins, but God.
Towns goes from fucking Jimmy Butler yelling at him to Russell Westbrook yelling at him, dude. No, man, that would suck.
It's also
That's at the end of Matilda. She escapes, and then they put her in a fucking abusive household again. Just some other fat bitch that yells at her.
I don't remember Matilda. I can't believe
good.
you pulled a Matilda
Matilda
reference
pull,
out.
baby.
Damn. We go deep on
Miss
this pod.
Trunchbull or whatever the fuck that fat lady's name was.
Dude, it's the people that have stood by you, right? People stand by him, but it gets worse because Durant kind of backstabbed him. Now
Yeah.
Paul George kind of backstabbed. They're cool for whatever reason on Instagram. They seem cool, but he kind of backstabbed him. Now it's like who's standing by him at this point? It's Steven Adams. That's it.
Yeah.
And Steven Adams is going to die soon. The way he has to set picks for him.
Right.
Steven Adams' body is breaking down.
Absolutely. Well, he's got fucking those big New Zealand genes. You know, he's like the youngest and smallest of a family.
What?
His dad was just some giant guy that just fucked everyone in New Zealand. His dad had like 30 kids. So
His
salute.
grandpa was the basis for the BFG, the Roald Dahl book.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think the Thunder, though, they did well. And Presti here comes off to me a little bit like a guy that was about to break up with his girlfriend. And then it's like she leaves you, so you're milking it for the sympathy. Because
Presti kind of fucked up.
They got a lot for Paul.
They got a
George.
lot, but you're right. And look,
SGA Gallo, 4 unprotected first, a Heat 2021, a protected 2023, and pick swaps in 2023, 2025. 7 assets. Plus, SGA is awesome.
they lost Jeremy Grant,
Yeah, that's true.
who's a nice young
But
piece.
that was in a separate cap move. They're
Totally.
clearly trying to get under the cap.
They're getting under the
or
cap.
under the luxury tax.
Right. But they also
And
Dude,
they'll
I feel
move
like
Gallo.
the
They'll move Gallo. He's a good player on a very movable contract. So they can get
22
something.
million this year, but I guess
But it's expiring. It's expiring,
But-
and he's good. Like if you're some team that's like, I don't know. He's just like, he's a floor spacer. He's basically like.
Dude, you're preaching to the choir. I'm a Gallo guy all day.
I would love for like
The Rooster?
I would love for the Bucks to get him. You know what I mean? In terms of like that floor spacing.
Dude, he'd be nice
You
for
know
the
what I mean?
Bucks.
Like a team that's,
Get rid of
X and all
Bledsoe.
shooters.
No one wants Bledsoe.
Bledsoe, yeah, poor Bledsoe, man. He fucking stinks, and he was good. You know what? That sucks. He was a borderline all-star.
He was great. Maybe,
Uh,
dude, who knows? I mean, look, people.
he
we
sh-
could be saying the same thing about Kyle Lowry like 2 years ago, right? Like people turn things around.
Yeah, I guess. And Bledsoe was a monster on defense, but it's tough that they lost Brogdon.
I feel for Russ though, because Russ did it. He did everything kind of as like in terms of character moves. He did it the right way.
Yeah.
And it does seem like everyone turned their back on him. At least I know Presti. He's a team guy. He is trying to like work with him to make a trade, but like it just seems like the only dudes that have had his back at this point are like Adams and now his his mentee Schrader.
Yeah.
It's like who gives a fuck about
some weird German with blonde hair?
Yeah, German Cisco has my back.
Yeah.
This is awesome. That's it. I mean, it's his time in OKC is over.
Right, but you can't really judge on KD. That motherfucker's so weird. He literally is a
weird.
Tumblr guy. He's literally a fucking online. I bet you Kevin Durant had a live journal when he was 13. Kevin Durant, there's definitely some kind of some emo ass fucking blogs out there. It's like, damn, I just can't. Russ never gives me the ball after I pass it to him.
And Westbrook, it's crazy he's even on social media because he seems like not even a.
He's there to post fit pics though. Westbrook loves fucking fashion, dude. That's the
And
other
Joe
thing.
Dirt.
Yeah,
He loves Joe Dirt.
Does he?
Yeah.
I
So
did not know
Westbrook.
that. But the team we're not talking about at all is Toronto here, which
Yeah.
is just like, whatever, they're fine. I mean, obviously basketball-wise, they're not. They got they got all these old guys on one-year deals. Lowry's expiring, Gasol's expiring, all the old Ibaka's
Gasol
expiring.
obviously opted in for all that money.
Gasol's like, thank you. I will take $30 million, please, to be the 7th seed in the
to
East.
shoot fadeaways.
But
on,
it's the kind of thing where it's like, I at one point in my life there was this girl that I dated very briefly who we weren't really connecting with. She was super hot, and she gave me the best head of my life.
Yeah.
And I still cherish that memory. She never texted me back after that. She left after we stopped communication. I'm not mad at that girl.
Right.
That girl gave me a memory I'll think about for the rest of my life.
it changed the course of history. For
For
your
me
and
for
for your nutsack.
and for my balls.
Yeah.
Yes, it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever encountered in my life. You know when you're just like I was just curled up, I was moaning like when a woman comes, I was like oh, that's never happened to me before. I've never experienced such a thorough nutting in my life, and I'm not mad at her for leaving.
Did she stay long after the nutting? Or no?
Absolutely not. She she came for we did the parade. We had a parade.
She's like, I'll finish this blowjob
laughed.
out of common courtesy, but that noise, I've made my decision. I'm moving to LA.
Yeah.
I'm out.
And I was never really in the running to have her long term, and I knew that.
You didn't
but
even get a meeting.
No, I did not get a meeting, but I enjoyed my time with her, and that's Toronto. Kyle Lowry got sucked off better than he'll ever get sucked off in his life.
Yeah.
And when they're losing to the Orlando Magic on a Tuesday this season, he'll just be like, damn, that was some good ass dome I got.
Yeah.
Like
Just reminisce. That's
Yeah.
all you get. Is you
Exactly.
get. But you know what? You got like. I don't feel bad for Toronto. You won your championship. You're
totally.
happy.
And Masai, I think Masai's probably gonna. If I was Masai, I would fucking wait for one of these big market teams to bowl you over with that Washington D.C. I wouldn't go to D.C. They're offering like a $10 million a year thing. I think. My guess is the Lakers were going to play out this LeBron shit for 2 years. Whatever the fuck happens. And then if I were the Lakers, I would try and get Masai, or I would try and get fucking the Warriors GM.
I feel like the Lakers, like you need a better run franchise.
Exactly.
Like no, I mean if you're the Lakers, I don't think you go there if you're Masai. It's such a
no,
big.
dude, you do though, because it's like I'm saying if I'm the Lakers and I'm think Jeannie Buss is just like not hot Dolan anymore. I've eaten her pussy. There's some clarity. She's busted a nut and she can finally see clearly after years of just getting a lazy Phil Jackson tonguing every once in a while.
Yeah. Oh, and it's fucking lazy.
Oh, it's
and
lazy,
he wants
dude.
to talk about boring. Like he
Yeah.
wants to talk about the dead, and you're like, all right, enough about the fucking Grateful Dead.
And he wants to be racist while he's doing it. He wants to talk about how LeBron has a posse of thugs.
Oh man, that was some good. Cause like that, it sucked that he got shit for that. Cause like he's not racist.
Yeah.
Like he's like, dude, he's old school. He's from like when you roomed with a black player in the
Right.
70s. Like
no, but see, that to me means he probably is racist.
Wow. Oh,
because
it's a
it's
nice
like,
flip.
because it's like he thinks, well, I fucking. Listen, look at I
paid my
lived with them. I'm still getting the cocoa butter smell out of my jersey years later.
He's like Frazier. He's like Frazier. Listen to Touch of Grey. Listen to this, and he's like, dude, these guys hate me.
Look, I lived with the animals. Like that's the way he looks at it. He's like Jane Goodall as far as he's concerned. Well, there were those fucking.
That was probably the wrong example for numerous
That's
reasons.
what I mean, though. Is that
I know, but connections are going to be made there in a very.
That's Phil Jackson saying that in the hypothetical. It is not me. To be very clear, I did not compare. Anyway. I think he's probably more racist because his bar is lower. He's like,
Right.
oh, I wasn't in the KKK, so I'm a cool guy. But there was even these there were these like leaks, rumors that someone in Jeannie's camp was telling her to trade LeBron.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's 100% Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, and which is so weird because it's like, I don't know. Anyway, we
Jackson
don't
also was like of that era though, where you could kind of like he had Jordan, so everything afterwards, like we're talking about the best nutting you've ever had. If you have Jordan, then every one night stand you have is just gonna suck.
Yeah.
It's just no one compares.
Well,
to
and then you
Jordan.
go to the fucking Lakers and you have Shaq and Kobe together.
You have young Kobe too,
Yeah.
who's like amazing, but he's also a fucking brat. And you're like,
Right.
dude, I dealt with Jordan. I know how to use egos. I know how to assuage egos. And then he wrote in his book that Kobe was a bitch.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
Kobe
yeah.
was like, and then they made up somehow and won 2 more rings. I mean, that's maturity
True.
on Kobe's part.
For sure. And, I mean, the Lakers dropped the bag on Phil Jackson, and he was still with Jeannie. So it's like,
Yeah.
your girl's like, maybe Jeannie's the one who sucks dick good. Who knows?
It's the least informative podcast ever. I like when the Knicks had Phil Jackson and he was just like falling asleep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, dude, this is how delusional a Knicks fan I am. I'm like, dude, we got Phil.
We got
He's gonna
Phil.
turn this around. Just cut the pictures of him at summer league, like.
Yeah, just napping. He's got those Simpsons glasses with the eyeballs while he's supposed to be scouting. It's like open eyeballs painted, and he's just.
I'm like, dude, he signed Joakim Noah. We're
Right.
set.
Dude,
I'm like, we got
I
Noah.
remember when you fucking called me and you were like, we got Noah. And I was like, bro, no, Sam. Like, don't
I'm
believe
like, dude,
this.
Derrick Rose is making a comeback. It's happening. I remember when we got Andrea Bargnani, and I was like, I mean, dude, he's like mini Dirk. I mean,
it's incredible. Dude, that's how good Masai is. The Knicks gave him a first-round pick for him. He unloaded Bargnani's bullshit
was
salary.
a first overall pick in the draft.
I
How
know.
crazy is that?
Insane.
That's like Kwame Brown level.
Insane. Well, that's when everyone was swept up in all the fucking Dirk. Like there was a
Yeah.
run where Euros were way too overvalued.
Oh, dude, but it's like kind of like when there's someone great, you just imitate them. It's kind of like Trey Young could have been that Steph bust because you're trying to go for the Steph.
Yeah,
You know?
and Trey's probably going to be good, but they should have. I mean, you should have taken Luca in that
Luka, baby.
case. But anyway,
we
yeah.
say that until we find out like he and Dirk are like holding tiki torches and marching
Yeah.
to, like the next.
Yeah,
We're like, damn, that doesn't look good.
No,
dude.
that team picture is going to look very strange.
Yeah.
They got
Boban.
They got Boban. They got fucking Luca. They got KP. They got a guy who is black but looks. What's that guy's name? Dwight Powell.
Yeah, yeah. They just
that's-
paid stupid money to DeLon Wright. They paid $32 million to
That's
Steph
crazy.
Curry.
Seth, yeah.
Or Seth, rather, yeah.
Yeah,
For
32
Steph,
mil
that'd be
for
good.
Steph. Pretty good. Yeah.
They misread it. They're like, we got a deal.
Yeah.
And now they have they'll have Doc's daughter at every game.
That's true. Yeah. So, but I think but just to get back to these teams, like just basketball wise, like we already discussed the Clippers. I think they're much better than the Lakers. Like, well, obviously you have LeBron and AD, and LeBron is the fucking. But he's also. His body might be breaking down.
He's
I
not
don't-
playing D. Like that's why I say this other.
And he's
two
starting
is,
in point guard. That's a lot to be the primary ball handler on a team. Is a lot for a fucking guy who he's played way too many minutes.
He also got more rest than he's ever gotten in his life.
That's true.
this year.
That is true. That is true.
He also got stuffed by Mario Hezonja
Stop talking.
at the
about it.
Garden.
I hate that. Hezonja fucking dunked on Giannis and stuffed LeBron, and he fucking stinks. Where'd he go? Portland?
Yeah, baby. Portland's fun.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Dame, CJ,
Mm-hmm.
Mario. They got Rodney Hood back. They got Kent Bazemore's nice for them because he's like
Yeah.
Turner, but he spreads the floor. He can shoot
Yeah.
the three. They got Hassan Whiteside. They'll have Nurkic back hopefully.
It's
at
an
some
interesting
point.
team. Yeah,
They're
let's
fun.
talk about them when we talk about like the rest. Like when we compare them. Let's just go through teams that like
All right.
how they match up with the Clippers. So let's just start with the Lakers, right?
All
And
right.
it's like, okay, you have LeBron, the best player ever. You have AD, who is much. Everyone forgets he's fucking young as shit. He's 26.
Yeah.
and he's incredible. But then it's like, and we talked about how deep the Clippers are. The Lakers are so fucking paper thin, and they
Yeah.
didn't even have now because Kawhi fucking jacked them all for that week. They weren't even able to like fill out their bench with anyone decent.
Alex
like,
Caruso is playing big minutes.
yeah, Caruso is like
I like
he-
him.
He looks like the chemistry teacher that embarrasses kids in the fucking student faculty game. You know what I mean? You think he's gonna be trash because he's got that fucking horrible balding shit he won't take care of.
Yeah.
Alex, brother,
A lot of
as a
grooming
member of the
issues.
community, just shave it off, bro. It's over.
Shave it.
Lean into that goatee. Although maybe he will look like.
If
a
you're a
white
waxer
supremacist.
though, and you look at that team, it's like you got Caruso, you got AD with the one eyebrow. It's like clean it up.
That's
man.
true,
We
yeah.
got some issues.
You're
we
right.
got LeBron's fucking forehead
Yeah.
going all the way
Yeah.
back. It's like, goddamn,
Yeah,
these.
you've got LeBron's fake hairline that changes every season.
This is all natural. This team.
It's interesting.
yeah,
Yeah, they definitely need a beautician in that motherfucker.
they do.
So okay, you have Caruso, you have
Yeah.
KCP, which is fine, I guess. People say he stinks.
Oh.
He's whatever.
He's whatever.
He's whatever. He's kind of a kind of player they need off the scrap heap, but they paid him too much. Same thing with fucking JaVale. Paid him too much. He's fine, but I think they paid him like $8 million or something.
Oh,
It's just
really?
like
For 1 year.
why isn't but why isn't JaVale? Why isn't he a minimum guy? Who the fuck wanted JaVale McGee that I'm
Well-
missing? Honestly, and it's like, and if you're JaVale, why don't you take a fucking pay
I
cut
don't know,
to
man.
be
He
with the
gets
Lakers?
blocks. I kind of like JaVale. At least
He
off
played
the,
like, I mean, he played good the first couple months, but he played like
I
trash
think.
the rest
I
of
think
it.
their bigs is not the problem. I think it's their guards. I mean, their bigs
They're
are kind of.
big, but that's the thing. Their bigs aren't the problem comparatively, but their bigs stink. So it's like they're better off at,
Cousins could be decent. $3 million. You're not going to take that chance.
I mean, listen, take the chance, but it's like, what the fuck is Cousins doing, dude? He's just fucking, he was a great facility. He looked like in the playoffs when he was playing well, he was playing basically like
as
Vlade.
a second unit guy, I
Second
love
unit
it.
guy, fine. But they have, you know what it is? They have a lot of guys who you're like, second unit guy, love it. But it's like, that's their whole
Right.
team. Their whole
Right.
team is second unit
And also,
guys.
Kuzma wants the plays drawn up for him if he's coming off the bench. He doesn't want to be
Right.
deferring to
Right.
another guy.
Yeah. I mean, I assume you have to, I guess. I mean, they're much better off starting. I guess AD doesn't want to play center. You're better off starting him at center, Kuzma power forward, LeBron at like 3/point guard, and then Quinn Cook and I don't know who the fuck, or I guess Danny Green and whoever the fuck. That's how
Not
you're
a lot of
better off.
scoring though from your guards. Is all I'm saying.
Shooting. That's all you got. Is spot up shooting from your guards.
Yeah.
But It is
That
also,
AD trade looks great though now after what
after PG.
after
Yeah.
PG, Jesus Christ.
But I think it's so funny too that Kuzma's the guy that survived. I think it's just like.
Well, he was the guy they were trying to hold on to.
But
the
that's
whole
what I mean.
time.
It's like, but he's just a scorer mostly, and I do think he's basically a finished product. Like he came out of the draft older. He's a bucket getter. I like Kuzma. I think he's a good guy, but it's just like
he can hit the three though, and they need that.
I think he must just be the greatest hang of all time. Do you know what I
Might
mean?
be.
I think he's just a good asset when you're like an older NBA, when you're LeBron and AD and you're trying to cheat on your wife. It's like you want Kuzma around. You know what I mean? Like Lonzo looks like Drake if Drake grew up in a trailer park. You have Josh Hart, who just seems like a responsible guy, and Ingram just seems like a loner who gets pussy because he's tall. But in
Yes.
the NBA, everyone's tall.
No, yeah,
And
Ingram is like the potential pussy getter.
Yes,
Where he's
exactly.
like this
Yeah,
guy's
yeah,
got
yeah.
potential.
One
and it's
day,
like,
this guy,
yeah,
if he
but-
fills out, he'll get pussy. Kuzma, cute as shit. I think Kuzma's
He
on
is
the Lakers
cute.
because he's a cutie. He looks like he looks like Egyptian. You know what I mean? He looks like
Yes.
like a pharaoh. You know what I mean? Like, I think that Kuzma more than basketball
He looks
reasons.
like, but he's like the Egyptian that like is royalty. He's not the like Egyptian that's like in the revolution,
Oh, absolutely.
right? Like
he's a
like,
loyalist.
smooth skin.
He's standing behind the pharaoh holding a staff. That's who Kuzma is. I think Kuzma is on the Lakers for pussy getting, not basketball reasons.
But isn't that why so many people go to LA?
yeah.
You know, I mean,
Salute to him. I mean, that motherfucker is probably going to put up numbers on and off the
how
court.
happy was he when the trade went through and he was like, "I'm safe."
Yeah, absolutely.
He was on the lifeboat, man.
Yeah. Salute. Yeah. Good job. Good job to you.
You know, though,
Kyle Kuzma.
he hit threes, and they have so few guys that do that. So he's necessary. Whereas I look at the Clippers, and I'm like, well, they lack shooting. It's interesting that
Do you think they don't like shooting?
Lou Williams is a scorer. He's not a shooter to me.
He's a good 3-point shooter.
All these guys they can shoot. But
PG is a great shooter.
he is a great
Kawhi's
shooter.
a good shooter.
That's true.
Landry Shamet, if he starts, is a very good 3-point shooter.
I don't know his game much.
He's good.
All right.
Honestly, Philly fucked up. He's exactly what they needed to keep. He would have
Philly
been the
has
perfect.
a lot of these great teams don't have like a shooter. Is what I
Right.
mean though. You know, whereas like back when it was like, I mean, other than
PG's that guy for them though. He is a fucking lights out shooter, and so is Landry Shamet, and I think Lou Will is a good 3-point shooter. I'm not positive.
he is.
But
He's like, is he a catch and shoot guy or is he? I'm
be.
holding off.
I mean, he just he doesn't play that way because you know
Right.
he's always has the ball in his hands.
So, okay. What's interesting to me now is, though, so we have these two teams. They're not like the shooting that everyone was modeling after the Warriors, and they're not doing that. That's kind of my point I'm making.
Right.
Whereas the Warriors, everyone's now writing them off because Clay is hurt. But it's like, dude, if Clay comes back, if he comes back healthy, that team to me is nasty.
Yeah, well, what is that? So you're saying that he comes back and they go Steph, D'Lo, Clay starting, and then
Eventually,
Draymond.
D'Lo might have to come off the bench.
But who? So what is that? Walk me through how you see that team.
They're
like,
not done. They're clearly making
They are making
move.
weird little moves here and there. They just did some kind of weird trade. I didn't
They got
see.
Kevon Looney at a great 3
Kevon
years,
Looney's
$15
good.
million.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So what do you think? It's Looney, Green, and those three guys starting. Dude, here's the other
For
thing
now,
though.
but
Here's the
I
other
mean,
thing. Here's the other thing. That team that becomes the Phoenix Suns, the D'Antoni Suns. That team becomes like no defense whatsoever.
I know.
D'Lo and Steph are bad defensive players. Bad.
Steph
No-
is passable, but D'Lo
Steph's
isn't.
passable.
Yeah.
Steph is a passable team defender on one of the best defenses of all
True,
time.
true.
But when you take away Iguodala and then if D'Lo and Steph
Maybe
are
they
playing
get Iggy
together,
back somehow.
no chance.
No
I think
chance?
he's disrespect. I think I wouldn't go back if I was Iggy. And the other thing is Memphis should
Steph
trade him.
calls you and says, Iggy, that wasn't me, dude. That was Bob Myers. That was ownership.
Yeah.
I love you, dude.
Who knows?
I miss you, dude. I need help. Right? What do you do?
I don't know. Steph doesn't seem like a good hang to me.
Yeah, no, he's probably like kind of a corny hang.
Yeah,
You don't get that good at shooting by having a good personality.
that's true. You get it by having OCD. We talked about this with Ray
You're
Allen.
a good hang if you're Lance Stevenson and you're like, I'll shoot every once in a while.
Yeah,
I'm going to dribble too much, and then I'm going to fuck around on my
No,
girlfriend or whatever.
Lance Stevenson is the guy that like hands you a blunt and you're like, oh, there was PCP in that. Lance Stevenson 100% training.
and we have a
days
game
you.
in 2 hours.
Yeah,
God
yeah,
damn it. No, Lance Stevenson he's a good hang, clearly.
Yeah.
Is he still on the Lakers or no? Where's he?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure. But Iggy, the other thing is Memphis. They're not dumb. They should it's weird that the Warriors traded Iggy for like nothing, gave up something to trade.
Well, they
him.
got D'Angelo.
Right. But what I mean is
That was almost. I almost feel like that was to block the Lakers from getting D'Angelo.
possibly, but I just think they once
If the Lakers have D'Angelo now, they're without question to me the favorite in the league.
But interesting.
Don't you think so? Even with what the Clippers have, because D'Angelo's shooting is what the Lakers desperately needed.
Yeah, probably. And he starts a point guard. Yeah, probably. I would definitely. I might give him the edge because the thing is, that's the funny thing about the Lakers. It's like if they had gotten a third guy, it wouldn't change the rest of their team. The rest of the team would be the same fucking losers as it
Exactly.
is. So it's like, yeah, D'Lo would have just made him that much better.
But he is
I think-
exactly what they needed, and he would give LeBron a break from handling the ball. He would have been perfect.
yeah, I really would have liked that.
And
move.
age-wise, he aligns because he's younger.
With AD, he could have built. They could have been the next thing for sure.
He's an all-star.
Yeah. I think more than that, it's just D'Lo wanted to go there, and once he said he wanted, once he showed interest, because I don't think the Warriors were planning on it. They just kind of fucking happened.
It's kind of a badass move.
Yeah. But anyway, Memphis is going to they're not going to buy him out like they said because they're like, why the fuck would we just give him away for nothing? Someone's going to give us something. Like a contender will give them at least a first-round pick for Andre Iguodala. If you're a contender on the cusp, if you're again the Bucks, if you're we'll see who needs what.
Also,
Even
get
the
him around your
Clippers.
young guys
Even
for a
the fucking
while.
Clippers.
He's a
Exactly.
fucking dog.
Yeah,
Like get him
exactly.
around your
Teach-
young guys.
At least let him impart some wisdom on Triple J and fucking John Morant and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But, so the one thing I will say about the Clippers is that it seems like their Achilles heel is size. Not unlike my penis. That's something they have in common. Is that they're deep. They're scrappy. but
Size is a problem for them, but they have
like Embiid. Like it's almost this weird thing of like. Embiid and Anthony Davis, who fucking guards them? I mean, Trez is awesome, but he's like 6'7". That's like, and Zubac is not guarding those fucking guys.
Yeah.
That's the one thing where it's like if they just and Philly is kind of like maybe they've zigged where everyone else has zagged and been like, fuck it, we're humongous.
They are gonna probably. The way I look at the teams matchup wise, Philly is a matchup problem for the Bucks. So are the Clips, I think, because you look at the defenses that are being thrown at the Greek Freak, man. You got PG and Kawhi.
Yeah,
That's tough.
Kawhi really fucked it. I mean, Kawhi was really the only guy who effectively guarded him.
PG was
Horford
like
did for
Defensive Player of the Year, runner-up probably
yeah,
to
no, I know.
Rudy.
And that's as a Bucks fan, as a guy who loves Giannis so much, that sucks to me. Is that the two teams that I think are because to me the contenders are clearly the Clippers, and then I mean the Lakers are so thin that I really put them like fourth behind the Sixers and the Bucks. I mean, despite
Damn.
they're so thin, bro.
Are the Rockets out of it?
They're not out of it, but I put them like in that. You know what? I put them in this. That's the top
This
tier.
could be their year.
That's true. There was all this weird discord though, where like he was trying to trade fucking everybody,
I know.
and then it's like everyone's just gonna come back to fucking work. Like, oh hey Daryl,
I know.
nice to see you. It's like you tried to fucking ship me to fucking whoever the fuck for a first round pick, and that's the other thing. People are saying the Rockets might try and get Russ. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, they would have to give up CP3, and that doesn't really address
Why
their
would
problem.
the Thunder want CP3?
Although, dude, Russ run by D'Antoni would be like,
yeah.
that's
Why would the Thunder want CP3? It would have to be some kind of weird.
like
3-team.
Jenna Jameson in a Quentin Tarantino movie. It's like we're throwing a lot at this.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I would love to see. I mean, it would be cool to see him there just because it'd be like that weird Thunder reunion. But
But
I don't know.
then they're gonna hate each other. I feel like everyone that plays. Like with Harden, it's kind of like a loud hatred. With Westbrook, it feels like a quiet, like, oh, I just got to get out of here.
yeah.
But like CP3,
Because it's like no one is really afraid. I feel like everyone feels like they could. James Harden is huge and he's strong, but everyone feels like they could beat the shit out of him. I feel like because he's got that lazy beard and he like
in
you
the
know,
in the defense.
the defense. But Russ is like, I would not want to fight Russ.
Yeah, it's weird to be able to like fuck shit up, but you just don't play D.
Yeah.
Russ is a motor guy. CP3, like I don't know if he could fight, man, but he is
He got
so
his
crazy.
he got his shit rocked by Rondo in that fight.
Do you think Rondo could take him in a fight?
Yes.
Really?
Oh yeah. CP3's fucking hamstrings are about to snap like stale fucking rubber bands.
But I feel like he'd be so dirty in a fight.
Oh, that's true.
Like I feel like if this was like WWF, like Rondo would probably be the good
Oh,
guy.
yeah,
but
yeah,
CP3,
yeah.
like he'd distract the ref and then like throw some dust in his eye or some shit. You know,
100%. Hit him with
the
a
ref
steel
turns
chair.
around, low blow
Yeah.
on Rondo.
yeah. Yeah, CP3 is the kind of guy that in a fight not only hits you in the nuts, but then like pinches your cock with his fingers. Like he's just like.
Was that your nail?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. You know how people have a coke nail? CP3's got a cock pinching nail for when he's got to fight.
CP3 is like, it's crazy to be a guy who gets you that many buckets, and still everyone's like, I don't like that guy.
Yeah. He's just
Because you
annoying,
usually would
dude.
love that guy.
Yeah. He's just annoying, and he's lost a step, and
But you play with a guy in a park, and they just get you good looks, and you're like, this guy's the man.
yeah, it's tough being that fucking annoying. That it's
Yeah.
like no matter how good you are, it's like your personality stinks, dude. It's like that
don't
rich
know.
kid that would let you play in his pool and shit, and you'd be like, yeah, I guess we're friends because you've got all this stuff, but I hate you. Like, and it's like, and you know what it is?
And if it's that
You know
rich
what it
kid, his money was sinking your friendship because
Yeah.
it was also like,
Yeah. Well, no, the thing is, it's like CP3 is like that rich kid, but now his parents are going through a fucking bankruptcy, and it's like, the games are getting shittier and shittier, and you're like, you know what? It's not worth it. This is when it used to be fucking, Xbox 360. That's one thing, or it was like we were playing a PlayStation 4, but now we're just fucking. Now we're looking at an old Game Boy, and it's like I'm not trying to fucking play with you that much anymore,
let's
man.
play paintball, but I have a slingshot,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
have
yeah.
nothing. That's what we're,
But
nah, he's CP3 is he's like gonna be one of the like all time. The banana boat, it's so weird. It's almost like the four guys who were just all great, and they all went such different ways.
yeah,
I guess Paul and LeBron went kind of similar ways, but I mean Wade and LeBron.
yeah.
But CP3 and Melo.
Melo just fucking caked.
Although you gotta respect Melo after all this shit. No one wants to come to New York except Melo,
I know.
or the Knicks at least.
Melo wanted the bag. I mean, if he had just waited and played that season out,
I know.
his career is so much different.
I know.
So much different. I wonder. I'm gonna do the math and see how much fucking money the difference was, and whether it was actually worth it. Because to give in his prime, Melo made so much more money than LeBron because LeBron took team-friendly contracts.
Right.
But LeBron obviously had so many other
And
avenues.
longevity and
yeah. But then again,
Space Jam 2.
But then again, if Melo had fucking been on a fucking perennial Eastern Conference finalist in New York, then he becomes a much more bankable, like,
Right.
then his shoes sell more. Then all this other shit happens. If he had just waited and like played with Gallo and and Wilson Chandler and all the other guys that they fucking
He would have been
traded.
so deep.
So anyway, now we're just now it's become again Knicks fucking
We did my boy Raymond Felton dirty.
yeah. Salute to Raymond Felton, all fat boy team. That motherfucker just coming out with a little pouch. I love that dude.
Love a kind of fat player.
100%.
He was actually really good for us. He
Yeah.
was, and he was like one of the only big game playoff guys for us.
Yeah, I fuck with Raymond Felton. But so going through real quick the rest of the teams, it's like, the people that really got fucked by this Kawhi shit, I feel like, or actually not even fucked because he would have gone to the Lakers, but in the West, if he stays in Toronto, it's a much more interesting West because then if you're a team like the Blazers and the Nuggets or just these teams that feel like it's all continuity for us, you'd have to feel a lot better, you know?
Right.
Or even the Jazz. That's like it's weird. The Jazz have a team where it's like if this team had continuity, they'd be a lot scarier. But it's like a lot of new guys coming in.
Well, we'll
and-
see though, because Conley is just like he hasn't played with good players in a
True.
long time. So you're
Absolutely.
like, maybe this dude just tears it up this year.
100%.
Maybe this is his first All-Star appearance.
Yeah. Conley's like the guy that was like locked in a horrible long-term relationship where he's just not
Right.
getting head, and he's like, and now he's just getting facials, and the girl's like, I'll find us a girl to fuck together. I just want to watch you fuck girls, and it's like Conley's gonna have the biggest smile on his face, dude.
Oh, dude, Donovan Mitchell is like the big
yeah,
titted
yes.
girl of his dreams.
He's dating a hot young bi girl now.
Dude,
after some fucking fugly bitch in Memphis, he's just like, come on down, Mike. I made us Parmesan subs for breakfast. It's like, don't you think maybe you could cut back on the Parmesan? What the fuck are you trying to say about my body, Mike? It's like, damn, I'd rather be in Utah than here.
Well, dude, there were videos.
And then
of,
your boy gets traded and just like, that's
get
brutal.
it. Well, there were videos of Donovan Mitchell just feeding him 3-point shots, and
Yeah.
all I just saw was like two chicks just jerking him off, just
one for each nut.
Donovan Mitchell just seems like the dude you want to hang out with anyway.
Yeah,
He just seems like a
seems
cool dude.
Spider, but yeah, I don't know. Blaze, like in terms of who's better, it's like unless what you hope for if you're the Nuggets, and that's the other thing. They fucking gave Murray a max.
Yeah.
They paid him like, I mean, getting the same. It's just like Is he that good? I don't fucking.
No, he's not. I mean,
I'm
that's the
worried
problem.
about
Is
that.
like
Because I like that Denver team, but
well, that's what you got to do to keep a guy, and it's especially like we talk about these teams that are like kind of getting close, and
yeah.
that's
But
you
already,
overpay.
doesn't he still? He still had another year.
They
They did
busted out the wedding ring before,
for what?
right?
Why? I don't understand. Like, let him prove it one more year. That he's not going to turn that down next year, unless you're worried he's going to make some kind of like otherworldly leap. But we're for all the like player movement shit that everyone's talking about and player control.
He was almost an all-star,
Yeah.
almost.
And I guess he played pretty well in the playoffs, but damn, a max. At least play it out. I'm not even
Yeah.
saying don't give him the max, but why do it preemptively? I don't understand. Like
They
if you're
probably want
Philly,
to keep him
if
and
you're Philly,
Jokic
I
together.
get doing it for Simmons preemptively because right there's all this chatter about like, well maybe they'll get rid of him. There's all this like team discord and all this shit. I get doing it for Simmons because it's like it sends the message that's like, no, we're investing in you.
Yeah.
We're going to make this run with this core, but after that, you're our guy. Because Embiid, even though he's young, it's like he's an old guy. You never know when his knees are going to go.
So, but do you invest in Simmons over Embiid?
No, but this.
But you got to pick one if this doesn't work.
Well, but here's the thing: if this doesn't work, is the key phrase there. Because now they can make this run, and then you see what happens, and then you could.
Is their team better than last year? Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
But not by. But dude, Jimmy Butler is really good. They kind of didn't get a chance to make it.
That's
fit.
true. You know what? They really could have won the championship.
Dude,
I mean,
they lost
really.
on a fucking prayer.
Yeah, and the Bucks series would have been tough for them, or for the Bucks. I mean, playing them would
Totally,
have been
man.
tough. Yeah, I mean
They throw a lot of different.
You
dudes
could
at
make the
Giannis.
argument. You could make the argument that last year they were the second best team in the playoffs when it all was said and done, and they just lost to the Raptors in an early.
I'm not saying they beat the Warriors. The Warriors are still like they.
The Warriors not at full strength. Yes,
probably.
the Warriors, the same Warriors that the Raptors had to face. I think they beat them.
Yeah,
Also,
Kawhi is just so
oh,
much.
Hold on, who the fuck on the Warriors is guarding Embiid? Who?
Draymond.
He's getting his shit fucking robbed.
But he's gonna. He also
although,
is going to annoy.
Although
Embiid.
to be fair, Horford did give him serious problems.
Yeah, dude.
So,
Draymond
yeah,
is like
but yeah,
so underrated.
But here's the thing:
as a defender.
this year, I think they're better for the reason that they get to rest all their players. I think a big problem with Philly was how much they played Embiid, and this year they have a lot more depth at center, and he can play 60 games in the way that he couldn't have. You know, he played like
you see the look on Embiid's face with the minutes, like. This dude is from like what, the Congo or something, and he's like, this is a lot for me.
This is
right
too
now.
much. Yeah.
Is he from where's he from?
Yeah, some shit like I don't fucking
Something not easy.
know. No, absolutely not easy.
I don't think it's the Congo.
I don't think it's
fact
Congo.
check
I
that.
think that's where Serge is from.
Serge
isn't
is
he?
from the Congo. Yeah.
Where the fuck
Where's
is
Embiid from?
Embiid from?
We
I
should
don't know.
fact check that.
I don't know. But yeah, I think they're better, and I think they're just bigger, and I think they're a tougher matchup for Giannis because you have, I mean, in terms of who can guard him, it's them and the Clippers have an incredible.
Right.
Because Horford and Embiid together, it's like, damn, that's tough to get through if you're Giannis.
It's interesting because.
But then again, if there's enough 3-point shooting, hopefully he can just learn to be the kick and shoot type of motherfucker again.
And can he improve his three enough? Because that'll add years to his career. He doesn't have to
Giannis, you mean?
No, I mean Embiid.
Oh, Embiid.
I mean, I guess it goes for both of them. But the thing about Embiid is like.
But I don't think if you're Embiid, this Horford shit means you don't shoot threes anymore.
Really?
This Horford shit means Horford's the one playing on the elbows. He's the big man distributor. He's a better passer than Embiid and he's a better shooter. And I think Embiid's like, fuck it, I'm going back down. But
I
then
feel
again,
like he never
Simmons,
wants to play back down. A lot
He
of
does.
These guys,
He talked about
really.
He talked about how he was.
But
tired
then why
of
is he
being,
jacking so many threes in the playoffs?
Well, he said this year he was tired of having to do that. It's because they don't have enough shooting. So that will be an interesting.
Well, last year they had
wrinkle.
JJ. They had more shooting last year than they did this year.
They definitely did. JJ Sham and all those fucking guys. But I mean, maybe they're just like, fuck it, we're playing bully ball this year. And honestly, that might not be a bad strategy.
Although you got to be careful in the playoffs, great, but in the regular season, that's how you get injured, you know.
Yeah, but I think that's why you have a deeper team. You have times where it's like, maybe you have, there's 10, 15 games in the regular season where you're like, hey Ben, this is your team. This is the team that's just run and gun, go, all this kind of shit. This team can look a lot different in a lot of different ways because of their personnel.
True. Okay, so who have we got now so far?
In terms of what?
I mean, who's looking interesting? I mean, we talked about
Clippers, Lakers, Utah's looking very interesting. Boston, to me, I don't know.
Yeah, they're not doing anything.
They'll be. I think they play better when they saw like when there's no expectations. But it's like
true.
And the
There's a lot of
genius-
pressure on this Gordon Hayward situation where it's
Yeah.
like, look, it's like an old friend with Stevens. You know, they college buddies.
Right.
And then there's that pressure where he's like, well, I got to give him minutes, and the other guys are like, really?
Yeah, come on, dude. Also, there is like a fucking It's
Not helping the racism in Boston.
That's what I was gonna
right?
say. There's a real white privilege in Boston thing there, where it's like, hey guys, look, I gotta get my fucking my gamer white friend here who's hurt.
It's coming off a near career-ending injury.
Yeah, we're gonna let him. Yeah, it really feels like Brad Stevens is his dad.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like we're just gonna let my
Meanwhile,
son
fucking Doc is Austin's actual dad.
Yeah,
and he was like, get out of here. It's crazy. It's
beat
so
it, scram. Meanwhile, yeah, he's talking to his daughter. He's like, listen, put in a good word with Paul. He's like, well, yeah.
yeah, I don't talk to him after he impregnated her. He's like, look.
Listen, just shoot him a text. Let him know everything's forgiven. Yeah.
Yeah, Doc, it's like he really has made sacrifices at like family dinners.
Oh, yeah.
They go back. Austin's like, Dad.
Yeah.
He's just like, look,
Yeah.
we won a lot of games last
We
year.
won a lot of
without you.
games, and
You're-
I couldn't turn down the trade.
No, there was a rumor that players hated Austin on the
Yeah,
Clippers.
because he was because it's like
Coach's son.
coach's son type shit, and he just looks annoying.
And
He had
that's the
that
thing.
goatee.
You can't pay Austin if you're his dad.
Right? Because that's the other thing. He was coach GM at the time.
right.
But you know who's really fucking. You know who really deserves all the credit for how good the Clippers are?
Who?
Donald Sterling for being racist.
That's true. That's true.
If he doesn't complain about his mistress fucking black guys, none of this is possible.
All those I can't breathe shirts, those were actually for the stripper tonguing Paul George's load. That's what I can't breathe. But no, man, the Clippers are really they're in great shape. You're right, Donald Sterling
Yeah.
really.
Maybe that's how we bring it home. We award this week's guy who fucks of the week to Donald Sterling for making all of this possible.
For the Clippers.
And
They
you know
really-
what?
Ballmer's great.
Oh, dude, Ballmer rules.
I want to hang out with Steve Ballmer.
That's a good fucking nerdy ass boss, dude.
Yeah, dude, you just need he's what, Microsoft or something?
Yeah.
You need someone, that's his cock. But no, you just need someone you need someone who will like
Thank you.
just be that hard on like, he's just like hardcore. He's like Cuban in the crowd.
Also,
you know?
what I would love to see is Ballmer and Kawhi watching like a scary movie together. Ballmer's like, ah, just like animated, and Kawhi's just completely stone faced. That's the most hilarious combination of guys.
It's crazy because you don't think of Kawhi as a guy who. It's amazing that he recruited Paul George because they have those
Yeah.
SoCal roots, both of them together. Paul George said they were good friends. I really didn't think that Kawhi. I thought he was a loner. I thought he was like a John Wick type. I thought
Yeah.
he just kind of like fucking got angry before games
right.
and then just fucked shit up and then just went home and like went into a pod or something and then just like
right.
recharged.
Yeah, I think to me Kawhi is clear. Like to me, I tweeted this too, but it's like Kawhi becoming the most powerful player in the NBA is just a huge win for those black anime kids that wore silk button-down dragon shirts and used to pretend they were going Super Saiyan when they got mad. You know when Kawhi's mad, he just goes, ha, just pretends he's powering up.
No, dude, you're right. He is like the other. It's like, hey, do you want to be a part of Air Jordan? He's like, nah, I'm good. I'll be on New Balance.
New Balance.
Hey, do you want to
Yeah,
be a Los Angeles Laker? Nah, I'm good. I'll be a Clipper. You're
Just go
like,
to the
what?
Clippers, yeah. The least swaggy moves of all time.
Hey, do you want an iPhone? Nah, I have a Samsung Galaxy.
You know he's got an Android. You know Kawhi's got green text bubbles, dude. Paul George was fucking recruited to the Clippers with green text bubbles. That's how good at fucking basketball Kawhi Leonard is.
Yes. It's ridiculous.
All
He
right.
watches movies on a Laserdisc player.
Well, I think we doing about an hour here. How much time we got? 58 minutes. Okay, cool. So let's wrap up here with I think I want to read off. Do you have any more stuff? Sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
cut it
really,
off.
no.
We rewarded the guy who fucks of the week to Donald Sterling
He earned it.
for making this possible. So why don't for a memory lane, we're gonna read the deposition he gave when he was in court. Have you ever read this? Sam?
No.
Oh, you are in for a treat,
Damn.
my friend. Okay, ready? Guy who fucks.
He's
of the
also
week.
kind of like guy who fucks, but also a little dick motherfucker. It's kind
He's
of
both.
It's
He's
a rare
both.
combo.
He really is both. Yeah. Yes. So definitely, I think this week's guy who fucks of the week, 100% is Donald Sterling.
And little dick motherfucker.
And little dick motherfucker.
Rare
of the week.
combo.
He gets to be both.
Yeah.
For making this Clippers team possible, and then also for racistly making this team possible, and also losing his franchise for being a dumb racist. But in honor of his winning Guy Who Fucks of the Week and Little Dick Motherfucker of the Week, let's read his deposition, which is one of the funniest things that I've ever read in my life. Here's Donald Sterling speaking. Well, I fool around sometimes, I do. When a girl seduces me and tells me all of these hot stories and dirty things and tells me how much she wants to suck on me and takes my shoes off and licks my feet and touches me. When I'm in a limousine, she takes off all of her clothes. The limo driver said, "What is going on?" And she started sucking me on the way to Mr. Coon's house, and I thank her. I thank her for making me feel good. Sir, the question was, is this your handwriting? Donald Sterling was asked, is this your handwriting? And answered, she started sucking on me on the way to Mr. Coon's house.
He's the most entertaining type of old guy.
He fucking rules. Salute to him.
Yeah.
We thank him. We thank you. And we thank you. We thank you for listening to Pod Don't Lie.
Let's get him on the next Democratic national stage.
Yeah, why not, dude? Let's get him in the let's get him in the debates. That's going to do it for us, guys. We thank you for listening to Pod Don't Lie with Sam and Stav. What a fun show, guys. We really appreciate it. And, we're figuring our shit out. Keep listening to us. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up. Bye, bros.